Today's episode of Ham Radio 2.0 is brought to you by Gifts for Hams. Find their website at www.gifts4hams.com. Get your call sign or club logo engraved on virtually anything you want. Specializing in ham radio related gift ideas, Gifts for Hams is your one-stop shop for lighted call sign displays, coffee mugs, coasters, drinking glasses, smartphone cases, and so much, much more. Laser engraving and etching to show off your ham radio call sign or club. Shop gifts4hams.com and tell them that Ham Radio 2.0 sent you.
Hi, this is Bob, K0NR.
And I'm Joyce, K0JJW.
On the summit of Pikes Peak, doing Summits on the Air, and you're watching Ham Radio 2.0.
Yeah.
Right there. Start right there. Boom. Ham Radio 2.0. Live from the Ham Shack, episode 122. I was trying to say 122. Good afternoon and Happy New Year. My name's Jason. I'm KC5HWB. This is a really cool sign that Curtis Moore made for me. He's K5CLM of the Everything Ham Radio podcast. He had posted something on Twitter, and it's like a burned-in effect. It's probably done by computer laser or something like that. I don't know. I didn't ask him how it was done, but it's looks like it's kind of a burned-in effect on a piece, and it's a real piece of wood. And he took my logo, and he made me a sign. I think it cost like $25, $30 with shipping, something like that. Wasn't very much. Really cool looking though. That's not a bad. Kind of rustic-looking sign, similar to the one by my show sponsor, Gifts for Hams. Of course, this is done on a laser. This is done on a laser engraver, and it's much more machined-looking. This one looks like it's almost done by hand. So, but this is a really cool plaque. If you want to get one made with your logo, he usually does them. With call signs. So if you want to get one made with your call sign and your club logo or something like that, contact Curtis, Everything Ham Radio on Twitter. Probably be the best place to get him. I think it's just at K5CLM, Kilo 5 Charlie Lima Mike. So welcome to Ham Radio 2.0, guys. Once again, I'm Jason, KC5HWB. This episode is airing on January 1st, 2018. I'm going to take a few minutes here and talk to you about some new stuff I have upcoming. You noticed on a couple episodes ago, I've been posting episodes about once every other week for the last month or two. I haven't been real consistent with the every Monday thing. I'm going to get back to that very soon. I'm going to have to make some changes in my schedule upcoming for different things. I got a couple of announcements coming later this month, perhaps February, sometime like that. So we're going to be making some changes around here for the good of the show. Changes for good of the show. Going to be doing some more stuff in 2018. Going to be expanding some. And anyway, the last episode, two episodes ago, episode 120, I did an interview with Cale Nelson from Ham Radio 360. He was on Skype. I was on Skype. We put them together and we did an interview session. I want to start doing more things like that. Reaching out to the ham radio community, people who are famous in ham radio like Cale, maybe people who are not so famous in ham radio. Maybe if you're just a ham radio operator and you got something to talk about. I would very much like to get a hold of some C-Bridge owners for DMR C-Bridges and talk to them about their C-Bridge networks. Make sure I get that whole sign in there. Both of those signs were done by Gifts for Ham, by the way. I've said that before. Giftsforhams.com, one of my show sponsors. MFJ is the second one of my show sponsors, and Arden. Arden.org is one of my show sponsors. So those are my three main show sponsors today. Bridgecom Systems from Kansas, they're back and forth. They give me some stuff now and then, and they take a little bit off, and then they've donated a few radios to me. I did a radio giveaway of one of their radios. They've given me some discounts on some stuff. So they're a part-time show sponsor. The other MFJ, Gifts for Hams, and Arden are full-time show sponsors at the time of this recording. If you're interested in becoming a show sponsor for your product or your club or your whatever having to do with amateur radio or even electronics, man. I'd like to get a show sponsor that does something with like Raspberry Pis. Going to be doing some more Raspberry Pi episodes upcoming. So go to livefromthehamshack.tv, which is the same website as hamradio2.com. And at the very top of that page, click on Sponsor This Series. You can see more stuff about how to do that. So really grateful for the show sponsors, which I'm hoping to expand this year also. So yeah, the interview thing, I got some interviews upcoming with a couple of different people you're probably going to recognize, and maybe some people that you don't recognize as much, that kind of thing, but that's what my focus is. I don't want to interview someone as famous as Gordon West every week. I want to get people who are involved in amateur radio on all sides and aspects of amateur radio. So I'm going to be reaching out to some clubs. I want to be doing some interviews about Hamfests, some of the bigger Hamfest. We've got HamCom in Texas, which is coming up again in June of this year. Of course, next month is Orlando again, going back to Orlando. And in May, I'm going back to Dayton. So going to be cutting back on the Hamfests quite a bit this year as far as, well, actually, those of you who know me know I run Grapevine Amateur Radio. Also, when I do radio sales, probably not going to be doing any Hamfest this year at all for radio sales. Going to be doing several of them for this show. I'm going to do Orlando in February. I was invited very generously to Rayne, Louisiana for the Arcadia Hamfest, which I think is the second weekend in March this year. I was down at the Greater Houston Hamfest last year, and the gentleman who runs the Louisiana Hamfest came up to me, and he's like, what do we got to do to get you to come to Louisiana? I said, give me an invite. So he did give me an invite. He gave me a few other things on top of that. So really nice gentleman who invited me that. So I'll be out at the Rayne, Louisiana Hamfest this March, and I'm going back to the Greater Houston Hamfest at the end of March. Traded some emails with those folks beginning of December, I think it was, and they said, hey, we want to put you up on like a stage area, not in the front stage, but like a side stage or something, so that when you're doing your video recordings, you're kind of looking over the crowd, and you can see how big the crowd is. And I'm like, that's a great idea. Because it promotes me, but it promotes your Hamfest also, which is the point. The point of me going there is to promote your Hamfest. I like to talk to people about my show, but it's kind of a one hand washes the other. What do they call that? Quid pro quo, I think, if I said that right. So it promotes my show, but it promotes the Hamfest at the same time. And I'm all about promoting Hamfest. The internet age that we live in today, Hamfests have died off a bit, because you can get anything you want to online. You don't have to go to a Hamfest. You don't have to drive to a retail store to buy ham radio equipment anymore like you did 20, 30, 40 years ago. You don't have to mail. You don't have to call someone on the phone and order over a catalog. You can get anything you want to on, almost anything you want to on Amazon. HRO, Main Trading Company, Universal Radio, these guys, you can order anything on their website. They'll ship it to you most of the time for free. So we've got a lot more access to stuff. But Hamfests are cool because you get to see people face-to-face who you might only talk to on the repeaters, or you might only see at Hamfests, or that kind of thing. So it's a gathering point. It's a gathering time of fellowship for amateur radio operators to get together and talk about what drives us all, really. So I like Hamfests. They're fun, enjoyable, and I like promoting them. So Rayne, Louisiana, Greater Houston Hamfest in March. The first weekend in April is going to be the Belton Hamfest, which is a smallish regional show here in North Texas. Belton's about an hour north of Austin and about 2.5 hours south of Fort Worth. But it draws people from all over the state. It's kind of in the central middle part of the state, sort of. A lot of stations from Austin and Houston come up. A lot of guys from West Texas come out. And it's a great swap meet. It's not a good, let's go buy some new commercial grade equipment, or from new equipment from commercial vendor type thing, but it's a great swap fest, and it's usually just a fun time to hang out. So I'll be going back there again just to kind of chat with people. I was there last October. I didn't have a table. In fact, I only went on Friday. Friday is the tailgate day. So that was fun to do. So that's the first weekend in April. Second weekend in April, of course, is the Green Country Ham Fest in Claremore, Oklahoma. It's the biggest ham fest in the state of Oklahoma, and those guys were really inviting last year. Had a great time at that show. Looking forward to that one again. Second weekend of April 2018. May is Dayton. Going back to Dayton. So I looked on the Dayton website just a couple of days ago, and it said that it said online ticket sales were closed 6 months early. This was 2 or 3 weeks ago. 6 months early they closed online, but you could mail a form. And it said any forms received after April 30th would be returned. And I'm like, April 30th is like 4 freaking months from now. What are you guys doing? So I emailed them about that to see what's going on. Probably going to be driving to Dayton this year, so we'll do an on-the-road episode of that. That's going to be fun. June, of course, is HamCom here in Texas. I've been trying to get those guys in for an interview because we're moving. They have moved. I say we. It's not we. They've moved HamCom out of Irving back to Plano, which is where it was 3 or 4 years ago. It's been in the Irving Convention Center for the last 3 years, I think, maybe 4. 2018 will be back in Plano in the old establishment, which is farther away for all of us folks out here in Tarrant County and Denton County. But I didn't like the current Irving Convention Center. I thought that was a step in the wrong direction. There was no outdoor tailgating area. They charge you for parking both days. Okay? They have a parking garage they want you to park in. It's not a good idea to get amateur radio operators to park in a parking garage. A lot of us, especially in Texas, drive larger trucks, and everybody has antennas on their cars. So you're driving through the parking garage beating the crap out of your antennas and all the pillars down there. I'm like, that's not really conducive to amateur radio, guys. Their vendor food inside was expensive. It was a bunch of little stuff like that. Just didn't make for. It was a really nice building. The building's only been there like 4 years. It's a brand new building. People complained about the Hara Arena for years because it was old and dilapidated and run down. This Irving Convention Center is a very nice facility. It's just not conducive to what we want to do. So I think the move back to Plano is a step in the right direction. I've been emailing those guys. I really want to get them on for an interview to the show to talk about that prior to June of this year. So fingers crossed on that. We'll see what happens. So June is HamCom. July, I don't really think I have anything in July right now. August is going to be the first time ever I'm going to go to Huntsville in August. My family reunion has been the third weekend in August for the last several years. Well, they moved it. It's actually in June this year, so I've got that weekend in August freed up, which is the weekend of Huntsville, Alabama Ham Fest. It's supposed to be a really good show. I've never been. I'm looking forward to trying that out. So, and then that's probably it for Ham Fests as far as this year. Might look at doing something a little bit different for 2019. Got a long time between now and then to decide that. So, we'll be doing some giveaways coming up. When I hit the 10,000 subscriber mark, I'll be doing a giveaway. Of course, I'll do another giveaway at my 3-year anniversary on May 2nd. And if I can get companies to donate some equipment for me that they want me to give away, similar to what Bridgecon Systems did, be giving those away too. So we'll see what happens with that. That's basically it, guys. I've been talking for about 14 minutes here. So Happy New Year to everyone. Thank you for watching the show. Subscribe to me on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/ and just search for Ham Radio 2.0 or search for my call sign KC5HWB. Go to hamradio2.com. Find my website with all episodes in order. And you can click on the subscribe or the sponsor the series link at the top. And you can comment on any episode from there that you want to. I'm really looking forward to 2018, doing some new stuff. We're going to be doing some stuff with DMR, All-Star, Hamfests, like I mentioned already. Hopefully some new HF rigs. I'm looking forward to trying to go back to. Want to go back to Costa Rica for the DXpedition in October of this year. I didn't get to go in 2017. I went 2 years in a row prior to 2017, but I didn't go in 2017, so I'm looking forward to going back to 2018. So, 73 guys, thank you again for watching. Hope to hear you in the comments. Hope to see you at any of those ham fests I mentioned. And you guys have a good one. 73.
This has been Ham Radio 2.0, a YouTube production by KC5HWB. Visit our website at www.livefromthehamshack.tv. Please also stop by our Facebook page at fb.me/hamradio2. Be sure and subscribe here on YouTube to keep up with all the new videos that are posted nearly every Monday. 73s everyone, and thanks for watching.